My idea is that, you know, after you see, you know, some great 1947 noir, you see this gun for hire with 350 other people, and then you go out and you have a cheeseburger and milkshake afterwards and talk about it.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I need to drink more. Yeah, you go out and you have a whiskey and you talk about it. Yeah. My father left Hollywood and he was Latin American director of the Peace Corps, and then he was Bobby Kennedy's press secretary in the Senate, and then for his presidential campaign, then he ran George McGovern's campaign. So I grew up in D.C. around politics. I knew that my family growing up had made a significant contribution to movies, but I didn't. It was a heritage that I was, you know, aware of in a general sense. Citizen Kane, which my grandfather wrote, and Joe, his brother, my great uncle, you know, won 4 Oscars in 2 years. All About Eve, Letter to Three Wives. His son Tom, who died just a couple of years ago, you know, Superman 1 and 2, a couple of really good Bond movies, plus, you know, Sleuth and Cleopatra and Suddenly Last Summer. And there had been moments like, you know, my mother making me watch North by Northwest. It's funny how your memory plays tricks with you, because my distinct memory of the conversation was, I don't want to watch a black and white movie. So I watched it and I was like, oh, this is quite good. And I'm starting to put together that I have undervalued my own family's contributions. Clearly, being Joe Mankiewicz's son was more difficult than being another Mankiewicz's son. Carrying the name has a degree of sort of expectation with it. My father's by far the smartest Mankiewicz. I mean, I'd put him, the guy's a genius. What he had against the metric system is that he'd say, God damn it, a foot is 12 inches. That's how we do things. And it was one of his great bipartisan efforts with Lynn Nofziger, who was a Reagan speechwriter. They did that together. It didn't seem silly then. It seemed like, why are the French telling us how we're going to measure a yard? Baseball, 90 feet, 60 feet, 6 inches. Football, 10 yards. You know, we're going to change all that? I don't think so. Even now, he's about to turn 88 next month. He loves that he beat the metric system, loves it. I'm going to call him and tell him that you asked me that. He'll be thrilled, thrilled. The idea with the Road to Hollywood and why we're here in Portland is to take this sense of what you get out of the festival and bring it to people who can't necessarily go to the festival. And so we picked 10 cities that are supportive of TCM. This is our 3rd Classic Film Festival in Hollywood. You know, all of them in April. They've been huge successes, really more than we could ever have hoped for, and we had pretty high expectations, and they've just exceeded them. You know, I've been to Toronto and Chicago and Miami and Houston, Philadelphia and Portland, and I think we did Minneapolis and New York and Cleveland and Denver. Sometimes modern day directors with a significant and vast appreciation for classic Hollywood have realized, oh, this is an event, this is good. Like when they said no the first year and then they saw what it was and they're like, why did I say no? This is awesome. So you go to these cities and you give them an experience of what they'll get at the festival, which is to see a film in a great theater like this, with a great star like Ernest Borgnine or Eva Marie Saint or Tippi Hedren, and a Q&A with them. And they'll talk about their career and they'll talk specifically about that film. And for most of these movies, it's great to see it on the big screen, but greater is to see it with 350 other, and I use this term in a very loving way, dorks. Like, because so many of us who love these movies feel like, why am I the only guy at the office who likes black and white movies? And then you realize, oh my God, there are millions of dorks. And I'm not. These are my friends. It's a dork convention. It's people who love these movies, and you can share it with them. And